We have Bridget over here, who's also
hello.
We have some presentation as well as Brian with ITS Security. And we have Sam on the phone, correct?
Yes. Yep, Sam Stiles is our LastPass representative.
Yeah, so without further ado, I will let them
play. My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I should stand up. My name is Brian Whalen. I work with ITS Security. And what is LastPass? I guess I'll just start right there. Okay, so LastPass is just a password management tool. Forgive me if I draw a ramble or speak really fast, because I'm very nervous. I hope you can't. So LastPass is a password management tool. What it allows you to do is store your passwords for websites. In addition, it allows you to do automatic like password entry. So if you go to a site and were to have had your password saved by LastPass, it gives you a little icon that you're able to pull down and choose from sites that you already have memorized, and that would automatically go ahead and save it. So basically, what it gives you is one place to save all these passwords. And this is it's all saved underneath what's called a master password. Okay? So this is when you actually go to enroll your account, you'll be provided an email. Okay, and this email will give you a temporary password and a link to set up your account. And when you do so, you'll have to set up a master password. Okay, this is what controls everything there. So whatever you want, do not use this account, because it's going to be very hard to recover. We can recover it, but we would prefer not to, because I mean, it's something that's the most important one. After that, basically, what it'll allow you to do is have your ability to save passwords from multiple sites. So if you're like me, you go to some place and you might set up a password, you don't go back to that place, and you forget that password. And then you go, okay, remember my password, you have to fill out some security information. And if you're still like me, you've given wrong information for every single one of your security questions, because you don't want people that, someone who might know you, pretend that they're you. And you've forgotten those as well, and you kind of screwed and have stuff in the account. So this is what kind of gets you around that. The cool thing about LastPass also is that it has integration as an application. It has it's in the cloud, which means that no matter where you are, you can have access to your passwords. And also there's some browser extensions. You have a question?
I do actually.
Sorry.
How using this master password?
Yes, sir.
How does that? Like we have a policy, I think, security policy,
yes,
that says we have to change our passwords periodically, whatever that time is, right?
I haven't changed mine in 14 years.
Yeah. Oh.
Want to hear that today?
So how does this? If does the master password have to change?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we'll prompt you to change. I think they're 90 days.
180. I just had to do it before.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not sure. We could change the policy inside of it, but that's one we currently have.
No, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't doing something, out of convenience or whatever, but violating.
But the passwords inside of them,
yeah.
Right? So for each of the different sites, it won't force you to update those.
Gotcha.
So if there's password management underneath data sites,
I'm not worried about that. Yeah.
You can automatically update them. So like when say if you go to somewhere and it says your password has expired on this particular website, right? Please set a new one, or you wanted to change it, like because then maybe you're worried, like you broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend and they had your password because you're sharing your Netflix account, for example,
right.
And you wanted to change it because you don't want them to have access to your Netflix account. So you go into Netflix, you change your password, and if you say it would automatically update. Do you want to update this on? So I mean that's another cool thing about this is that there's a tie-in between enterprise and your personal, because with Cornell we've been able to get via LastPass an agreement that allows you to have an elevated personal account. So you can use one for yourself and for your enterprise, and you can tie them together underneath one, one location for better sake of term.
Cool. Yeah, because when you update a password like that, you choose the password you're updating to, so you know what it is, or the LastPass does it for you and just makes up something weird.
You can do both. Okay, so the way I manage, the way I use it, okay, is that I work in security, so there's many different systems and softwares, applications that I have to manage. So, say for a database, I have a password, and I keep that there. So I create a site for each different application that I manage, and then the password's underneath there. So when you go ahead and you select which site you're on, right, it will actually prompt you for the password. You can actually save to which site that you want to save it on. So it's not like you're going to have 50 different entities for the same website. You would only have that one entity. But you should know which your username is going to be associated with that site. And sometimes they have different usernames for different sites. But you will know because you pulled it down. Like you could get, I don't know, it's hard to show without it actually being there. But maybe
We'll do that next. I think
because,
Sam will show us, yeah.
Because it basically gives you a drop down which you can select, sir, and then from that selection it associates with that unique entry. So when you change it, it actually just updates that unique entry. I'm not actually sure where I am on this thing. I never really actually looked for these things. But I wanted to also tell you guys that with using LastPass, you're going to have two-factor authentication enabled. The two-factor authentication that gets enabled is called UO. Okay, so with this two-factor authentication, it's something you know, something you have. Okay, so something you know is going to be your password for signing into the LastPass site. Okay, so something you have is going to be your telephone. Okay, so it integrates with your telephone. There's a mobile app here, or you can have a YubiKey. Did I bring one? Might have left it. Oh, I did. A YubiKey, which you can actually attach to your computer. And you use that, it has a little button on the side that will allow you to go ahead and use that as two-factor. Something you know, something you have. And if you lose these, we can always manage your account from that area. But basically, two-factor allows you to kind of enforce who you are. So it gives you that added layer of security.
And that's required. You have to do that.
Yes, sir. You have to. And so in enrolling in LastPass, you're also enrolling into our two-factor authentication system. I mean, eventually, our two-factor authentication system is going to be deployed globally for our systems. Right now, we're only enforcing it for people that are outside the United States, but that's going to change. So, I mean, by doing this, you're kind of getting ahead of the curve and figuring out how to use it. I know it's kind of be an inconvenience. I've had interface with some doctors who've had some issues with it, but once they start using it, they've been kind of more receptive. It's just basically trying to protect our PHI a little bit better with saying you are who you say you are.
So that means if you lose your iPhone, we lose access to everything that you have.
Not necessarily. So all you have to do,
you can't do two-factor.
Right, but you can re-enroll. So you can call to us, right, which we can add a new device to your ID. So say if we go ahead and call the IT support desk and say, hey, I don't have my phone. I need to go ahead and re-authenticate. How do I do so, right? They'll go ahead and they'll ask you some questions to verify who you are based upon the profile. Like they may ask you what your social security number, what your date of birth is. I'm not too sure what their SOP is, but they'll go ahead and they'll follow that, and they'll ask you something to verify who you are. And in doing so, they can add your telephone number. They can add a different phone if you needed to, or two-factor thing. Or what we can do is we can give you a temporary code. So say if you just forgot it at home, we can give you a temporary code just for that day that you can use. So you're not going to be out of luck. You'll be able to still do it. It's more of a manual process, just like we do it.
Okay. Would that be somebody at that line 24/7?
I don't know if they're 24/7.
They're 7 to 7.
Yeah, so our.
Yeah, because we do work on Saturdays.
I mean, it might be able to get to me. I'm not too sure what the support is going to look like.
Another thing you can do is you can enroll multiple devices at the outset. So if you lose one phone, you can have something else that is your secondary backup.
You can also configure OTPs, which are one-time passwords, which you can then basically create your own self a database of them that would allow you to store them. So if in case you forgot, you can use that password to authenticate. But being a one-time password, after you use it, you're not going to be able to use it then. And sometimes I found that, well, we don't have the policies in Duo that are going to really restrict you at present for anything. They're basically only going to be used right now, I guess, to access Duo. But in the future, it's going to be for my apps and VPN and things like that. I'm not too sure what the overall policy of what Tom sees seeing it down in the future, but right now it's kind of minimal. Okay, so what other kind of devices? Kind of what you're speaking of. You can do it on tablets. You can do it on your watch, and all these good things. This is when you go ahead and enroll. You can come back and you can re-enroll multiple devices. We have 2 enrollment sites. Okay, so LastPass will take you through the dual enrollment when you do the enrollment. However, you can also go to Duo to just add new devices to your 2-factor if you want. So if you need those URLs, I can provide them to you. It's just that way you don't have to keep going through the same full process. Because Duo doesn't require LastPass, but LastPass requires Duo.
I'm just curious, has anyone here been able to enroll on the LastPass site successfully? Has anyone tried it since we rolled it out last week? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Me too.
Yeah, I tried it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it.
Cool.
I mean, I can show you how I have it set up. Well, I mean, I'm not going to show you my password, but I can also show you how to enroll into it. I mean, it's not really that difficult, but the cool thing is like, I don't know if any of you guys work from home, or have had to work from home, or if you're on call and you had to come in and do something when you're away from your site. This is where I find it useful. And in addition to, because we have so many different management softwares, and you should have a password that's separate for each different site, it can become very unruly. So it's cool because I can maintain multiple passwords and not have to necessarily remember what it's for and only go to it when I need it. I don't usually use the autocomplete, although you can. What I do is I usually use it as kind of like a database where I go and I query. But it's up to you how you use it. I'm a little old-fashioned, and I don't necessarily like the autocomplete stuff. But it works fine because I have used it before. And, it's really a cool piece of software. I don't know.
I think that's good, Brian. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, very good. No, that's okay, because we've got our representative from LastPass on the line, and I'll pass it over to her, and she can kind of run us through the interface. Here are some links for more guides and tutorials if you want to learn more about the tool. Basically, if you go to the ITS website and type in LastPass to the search bar, it'll bring you to a how-to guide that has all of these links on there.
And also, if you signed in on our sign-in sheet, I'll be sending that over to our presenters so they can forward you all this information as well after
Cool. Sam?
Hi, yes, can you guys see my screen? It should be on LinkedIn.
Can you share the screen on this WebEx?
I thought I did. Let's see.
Yeah, she needs it all. There we go.
There we go. All right, so that was a great overview, and I'm just going to take a couple minutes to go over some of what the end user experience looks like once you're all set up. So once you're set up with your account, you create your master password, and you log into your browser extension, which is this little icon to the right of the screen that my cursor's on. You log into your browser extension, and then as you go to websites, it'll iteratively save those credentials into your LastPass vault. So let me log into LinkedIn, and I'll show you how the save site comes up and what to do if it doesn't. Excellent passwords. Don't look at this. This is just our demo account. So you'd go in and you sign in, and it'll pop up and say, save this site. So you want to save. That is not the right password. Oh, no. Okay. So save the site. Let's go back. LinkedIn. Not sure. Submission. Don't you hate when this happens? Sign in. Okay. So, not sure why that's doing that for me for LinkedIn. It's probably because it's the test account, but you can log in. Let's see. What is it? Error message. Browser plugin will also tell you your error messages here, just when it lights up in a different color. So I'm not sure why. I think it's because I deleted it to show the save site function. And I'm not sure. Let's see. All right. On the fly, figure out what to do here. Let's see if LinkedIn is still in there. So it should. Not sure why that's not working. All right, let's go on. So when you sign into your account, you save site, and then it'll automatically put it in your vault. And the next time you go to that site, it will automatically log you in. And if you're setting up a site for the first time, you will have your form fills, which is this icon right here. That is for a form fill. And you can also access your form fill by right-clicking and going to the LastPass menu, and you can select from your form fill, and it'll automatically put all of your information into, well, that's all that we have in the demo account, but it'll automatically fill out everything, so you don't have to have that information saved on your browser extension. It'll be available everywhere for you. And then this icon right here is for generating a password. Going on with my, okay, so you can generate a secure password. You can select how many characters, if you want special characters, how long you want it to be, and as we were saying earlier, one of the beauties of LastPass is that you can make incredibly non-memorable passwords because it remembers them all for you. The only password you need to remember is that master password, and then all of the rest of your passwords can be long and secure. When you are in a site that has multiple credentials, I'm not sure why it's not showing. It'll show you, like right here, it'll say 3, and then as you log in, it'll show you a drop-down of all the different credentials that you have in that account. Going to the LastPass plugin. Here you can search within your vault or go to your vault, or under more options, you can import passwords, etc. Let's go into the vault. You can tell which account you're in right up here. It says enterprise account. So if you were in your premium personal account, it would say premium account up top. So if you have your accounts linked, you can know which one you're in. At any point, you can expand or collapse. There you can see different views with icons or list view. You can add a new site, secure note, or folder, or share items with this big plus button at the bottom right-hand corner there. So all of your sites, your browser logins will be saved under your sites, but we also have secure notes, which is a way that you can save all of your other information, be it your Wi-Fi credentials, or if you can create a virtual wallet with all of your personal information, and it'll all be stored securely within your LastPass vault. So you can store your passport or anything else. If you ever lose your wallet, you can have all of that documentation securely stored within your LastPass vault. Form fills, as I said earlier, if you create a form fill profile, you can save all of your information and credit card information, so you're not storing that information with the sellers online where you don't know how they're storing your information securely. You can have it all saved within LastPass. It'll autofill it. You can create different form fill profiles for your personal life or your work. So if you're registering for an event, you can form fill with all your work information or your personal information. And then we also have our sharing center. So under the sites you can see, let's collapse all these. You can see the different types of folders I have within here. Here's my personal linked account. As we said earlier, it's recommended you link your personal account. It's completely private. The enterprise admins cannot see anything that happens within your personal vault. And if you should ever leave the organization, your personal LastPass account becomes disconnected from the enterprise, and you still have full access to all of your personal credentials. And then we have the shared folders down here, and these are all folders that, for instances where you need to share credentials, with someone. For instance, a lot of times organizations will need to share social media logins and things like that, so you can share with the team. If someone leaves or you need to change a password, it proliferates amongst all of the users within the shared folder, so there's no having to find the password or reset a password. You can do it all within that. You can make the passwords read-only and hide them if you're an administrator, so people can't even see what the passwords are. They just can log in automatically using that. So, and then finally, real quick, I do want to go over the security challenge, where you can run your security challenge. And this is where you can see how your overall password hygiene rates among other users and within your organization. And it'll walk you through each section, will tell you which passwords are weak or not working. You can change your passwords, see which ones need to be or have been reused and you need to change those or update them, or ones that are just very old and you should be updating those as well. We also will notify you if there's ever credentials that you use that were on a breach, a known breach. We partner with a company called Pwned List that will let you know if your credentials have been used on a breached site. And then on this detailed stats at the bottom, you can see there are about 50 sites or so that you can select that we can auto-change those sites. So you can select all of those auto-change ones and hit Update Now, and LastPass will go out to those sites, log you in with your current credentials, update your password, restore that into your vault, and then you're ready to go with new passwords. For the other ones that we can't auto-do, you can just launch the site from here. It'll take you right to the password change site or page. You change your password, update it, and saves it right back to your LastPass vault, so you can get your scores up higher. Again, this is a demo account. Don't judge my scores up there. So I think that, I mean, overall that is, I wish this worked better, I'm sorry. But it should work. I think it's just because I deleted it in the beginning, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I know I kind of went through all that pretty quickly, but it's pretty intuitive and it should be easy for you to use.
So I have a question. I don't know who wants to answer it, but is there a time when you would not want to use this? Like you have some passwords that you're not working through this and everything else you do, or once you get hooked onto this, you're just using it for everything?
Yeah, it probably depends whether or not you have it through the automatic generation of passwords. I mean, I personally don't do passwords like that. I usually make passphrases.
Yeah.
Right, which would be like a sentence that I can remember, and replace like consonants or vowels, special characters. And there's specific ones that I use.
Right.
I try not to do the ones that are default, like 0 for O, hash for 3 or E. I try to mix it up, but I have a default way that I do replacements. And so I usually remember what they are, but there are some sites like that we have here that I use it for, because we have a lot of different management consoles. And there's also, for example, I manage this one application called DLP, right, with Donnelly. So I could share passwords with him because I have him as somebody who can read it. But right there, those passwords, I don't remember. So if I'm going to go to them, that's where I store them.
I mean, we recommend not storing your seaweed and AD password in there. That's something like, that's one of the ones that you should remember on your own. But everything else you put in there, so then you don't have to remember like 50 other passwords.
Right.
Just remember 2. You remember your LastPass one,
Yep.
and then your AD.
Okay.
And if there ever is a site that you don't want to save the credentials for some reason, and you don't want to keep being prompted by LastPass to save that site, you can add never URLs under your account settings, and you can add that your URL, and it won't prompt you to save at that site anymore.
Is it browser specific or?
Well, you can use it with Chrome. You can use it with Firefox. It also has its own built-in application, and then there's the cloud-based application that you can get from any URL. I don't think it's IE, and I don't think it works in Safari.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Samantha. Is that right?
It will work across all browsers. IE itself is a little buggier of a tool of a browser client, so Chrome, Firefox, all of those are better than IE in general, but it will work across Safari, Opera, everything.
So if you use a YubiKey, that only works with Chrome.
Oh, yes.
This is for two-factor instead of using a phone. It's a set. We don't buy these, but we will support you using them. It's basically like a little USB key, which I'll plug into my computer, and when I want to use two-factor authentication instead of using my mobile app, this blinks and I just tap it, and that will allow me in. It's and then you can get smaller ones that actually go with the profile of your USB key. That way, in case if you're forgetting, like this gentleman said, like I don't know, I might forget my phone. Or what happens if I lose my phone? I don't want to tie it to my phone. You know, you can sit on your computer. And
I don't understand why you need a phone.
Okay, so it's not necessarily along with LastPass. This is what goes with two-factor authentication. So if you sign up for LastPass, our policy has it that you have to sign up for duo two-factor authentication. And with duo two-factor authentication, you have to tie a device to it. Because it's something you know, which is your password, it's something you have, which is going to be your token or your phone. Okay, and so when you're using your phone, you'd have to have the mobile app with it, and that allows you to, it would prompt you to say, okay, this is me. You have to associate that account with your phone.
I work in the sub-basement. We don't get any kind of signal.
Right, that's why I would use one of these. Where I'm at, I don't get any signal either. So what I do is I use one of these guys. I have to enroll it up here, and then once it's enrolled, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, but you don't need network access once you're enrolled to use your phone. So the Duo application that sits on your phone, it works in multiple ways. You can have it push something to your phone. So when you log into LastPass, it'll push a signal to your phone, and then you just tap on your phone and it'll log you in. That needs a connection, right? But you could also just log into your phone, open the Duo app, and click on the icon for LastPass, and it'll give you a code. That doesn't need a network connection. So once you have it loaded on your phone and linked to your account, then you can just use your phone without the network. It works the same way that the RSA secure ID tokens work. Like they weren't network connected. They just have a unique code that's linked to your phone that rotates every 30 seconds.
Yeah, so that would look like, so basically, once I have the app right here, if I press it, that would be my one-time password for doing my two-factor from going on.
And you have to do that every time you log into this system?
Into LastPass. Not every single time. If it's a new connection, if you lost your session, your browser session, then yes.
So it's every day, basically.
Yeah.
Is it the one that change every 30 seconds?
This changes, like, I don't know, what's the cycle of this? Is it every minute?
60 seconds or 30 seconds. If you do have a network connection, what happens with LastPass login is it'll automatically send a signal to your phone, and it'll be a pop-up on your phone, and you just have to hit the checkbox.
But if I don't get any signals in the sub-basement, how's it going to send a signal from my phone?
Yeah, so if you don't get a signal, then you would have to type in that number.
Or use one of these guys.
Right. If you do have a signal, you don't have to type in a number. It cuts that step out, and it prompts you on your phone and saying, are you trying to connect? And you just hit yes, and then it lets you through.
But it has to be able to connect to my, somehow, it needs to be able to get to my phone.
Yeah, but then
if I'm in a dead zone.
If you're in a dead zone, then you just have to look at the number on your phone and type that in.
But it's not going to change.
Then the number rotates. It's not that it gets a new number. It generates it internal to the phone, and it's just synced with the account prior.
It just requires time. As long as that's no time.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is there a fee for this? Because I know there's something with premium.
Nope. You get the premium. You get the premium through us. Okay, so this is one of the things that we were kind of going back and forth about, in that you can maintain your own private LastPass, okay, and you can pay for the service for your private password, LastPass. But because you're working with Weill Cornell, we allow you to have the premium, which allows you to tie with the enterprise. Now note, if you leave this company, you would lose that additional premium access. And so at that point in time, you would have to pay for their service.
Now, how does IT facilitate it? So I decided to quit next week and I say, I want to have a personal account now. And I paid them whatever, like $49.95. But do you transfer everything easily for us?
No, we won't transfer anything that's enterprise is going to stay enterprise.
So what happens is you essentially have two accounts that are linked. So you have your personal email address that you tie to your personal password, and you link that to your enterprise account, so that gets you the free premium on your personal account. And then when you leave, all of your personal passwords stay in that premium account that's tied to your personal email address.
So you use the enterprise account only for things that are specific or here, and the personal for everything else.
For everything else. Like if you have a New York Times account, your Gmail, etc. You put that in your personal account. And even when you leave, like your information stays in that LastPass vault, the personal vault. It's just you lose some of the premium capabilities. Like I forget what all the features are where it's like you can't use it on like a mobile device. Like the app is a 4-pay application or something like that.
So if you leave here, they hold all your information hostage till you pay for it.
I mean, you can go in and delete it, and you can still use it. The LastPass functionality is free, but just some of the pieces are for premium users. So you can still use it as a password vault. You can log in, retrieve your passwords, etc. But some of the automated steps go away.
And your personal stays personal.
Yeah.
Like just because it's linked with your enterprise doesn't mean that ITS will have access to any of your. We don't have access to anything anyway. But I don't want you to think that your personal information then gets linked with your enterprise, and then we keep all of that if you decide to.
Just note when you're saving it, which account you're logged into.
If it's created all these crazy long passwords for me that I'll never remember, and then I'll leave here, I'm kind of stuck. I'm not going to remember those.
Because if you save them to your personal account, we're saying you could still access them. Okay, but things that we're saying is that if you don't have their premium service, it's going to limit the way how you access them. So you'll be able to access them and retrieve your passwords, change them, and find some other way that you want to keep track of them. Whether that's going to their website and writing them down, or putting them in a different database like KeyPass or Keychain if you're using a Mac. You could do that. Can you tell us what the functionalities that you would lose if you lose the premium?
Yeah, so with the premium access, you have access on all of your devices. With a free LastPass account, you have to choose one device to use. So if you wanted to just use it on your desktop or your phone. Also with premium, you have the ability to have a shared folder that you can share, your bill logins with your spouse or logins with your kids for gaming sites or whatever you might need. So you can share. You have a shared folder within the premium as well, and premium is $12 a year, so $1 a month. So it's not insanely expensive if you become, completely dependent on LastPass and you leave Weill Cornell. You can still get premium access for a very affordable rate. And you can also always log in, like you said, on our website, LastPass.com. There is a login functionality there. It just doesn't have all of the functionality as the browser plugin. That's why we recommend that you use day-to-day the browser plugin. But if you were ever at a hotel and didn't have access to some credential that you needed and you wanted to use a public computer, you could log into your LastPass via LastPass.com.
You guys have any other questions or fears about using this? Or I mean, because it's a lot. It's a new system, and it's taking control away from you. So I can understand how there's some resistance. But I'm telling you, once you start using it makes things a little bit easier. I mean, at least for me, because I have passwords to so many different systems, and I don't always remember them. Like I have them on for like Avis, I have them for Hertz, I have them for American Airlines, and all these different, areas. And just instead of putting them up on somewhere on some sheet that's on my computer on an unencrypted drive that if I were to lose it, someone can get it. This at least puts it in a secure location that's encrypted that I can get to from anywhere. And that's kind of cool, at least I think. It's just another way of technology helping us out today. So.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Up and running.
Yes, you can enroll and just use your seaweed and your password on the enrollment site, and you'll be good to go. And it's not that hard. I programmed it myself.
No, I started. I don't know.
And let us know if you get started and have any other concerns about the Duo stuff. Like, we're all here to help you out. So if it's something you want to use but are kind of
I've been using Flash ID for many years to store all my passwords.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which has been much simpler.
Yeah, you got to do what's right for you. But yeah.
Enterprise.
Understand. Even if you don't use it,
No, I would love to use it. I have to have like you.
Exactly. I mean, I was using keychain before, but the thing with this tool is I can access from any computer. So I can go over to my wife's computer and still access my stuff, or I can leave my computer home and still access my stuff at home. That's what I really like.
Yeah.
Because it's not tied to
Yeah. I think with this phone, well, I mean, you can't access everybody. The tag, like,
so the way that the phone works is there's two ways that you can do it, right? So there's that one-time password that was using it.
I don't know, UBT.com.
UBT, I love UBT. So UBT.com. If you get from Amazon,
Put that in any of our documents.
I know it. I threw it out there because I wanted to bring it.
For the questions of where do I get one?
Oh, yeah. Instead of,